Oh, hey everybody, Syntax77 here. Remember last time maybe I was out here in the woods of Pennsylvania, Michaud State Forest. I was checking out that Go Outfitters hammock. Well, now I got the second item I was talking about, and that is this here tarp. It's the, let me get out here, Apex tarp from Go Outfitters. They sent me this to check out too. It's actually one of 3 prototypes they had, and he asked if I wanted to try it out, and I said sure. So I don't, I have details and stuff on it, pricing and stuff. Maybe by the time this video comes out, I'll post some links and stuff like that. But just want to give you a quick look at it. It's the first time I set it up. I'm looking forward to getting it out in the wild. I have a Cuban, really light, ultralight Cuban hex tarp that I use, but whenever I go out with friends, I always bring along other tarps, whether it's for my wife or friends that I drag out there hammock camping. So I often use a tarp this style because I don't have $1 million. So this here is an 11-foot ridge line. Here, let me pick up the camera and I'll walk you around a little bit. We'll get some details. Let's go right to the spec sheet, the official spec sheet right here. We'll run through some of these specs and then we'll get a little closer look at the tarp here. So yeah, it's cat cut. It's 11-foot ridgeline, like I said. You got a 9.5-foot width. Material, 70D polyester with a water-resistant coating. So polyester is nice, of course, compared to like nylon. You got less opportunity for stretch there. So when you set it up, it should stay closer to how you guide it out. Speaking of guylines, you got 20 tie-out points on this thing. That's crazy. We'll look at that in a minute. Lots of ways to configure. As you can see, they give you some examples on here as well. Even if you're not a hammock camper, pretty good versatility for some ground sleeping options too. You get 6 8-foot guylines. We'll take a look at those in a minute, and 2 15-footers for the top ridge line there to give you some more room to work with. Stitching, by the way, looking pretty nice from what I've seen so far. Pretty consistent and nice looking stitching there, so that is nice. Reinforced on the corners, looking pretty solid. Tarp weight is 20 ounces. I did weigh that out and check it. That I got the same thing, 20 ounces for the tarp itself, and then another 8 ounces for guylines and stakes. Now I'll point out the guylines and stakes. The stakes that come with it, they do come with some just to get you up and running. They're your standard aluminum stakes, not the lightest things in the world, of course, but they will get the job done. If you're a little bit more hardcore, then you may already own some stakes, titanium, etc. You could go ahead and use those, or you could upgrade later, but it is nice if you're looking to just get running. You're adding this as a secondary system. You got everything you need to go, and you can always nitpick and upgrade later, which is what I love to do. Here's your lines, an example of those with the plastic toggle on there. Nice yellow color, a little easier to see. And you get 8 lines, like I said, and 6 of the stakes. Now, 20 of the tie-outs. Let's take a look at that. You can see I did this middle one here in the front. I just did a quick knot on there, but it should be pointed out, probably because you can configure this so many ways. You wouldn't want to put I wouldn't want to put a guiline on every single tie out, because that would be a crazy amount of extra just stuff to fiddle with and weight. I doubt you're going to tie out 20 points every time. So probably set up with maybe a lark's head or something going forward is what I would do on at least a couple of these lines, so that I could quickly switch them around. Or I could go with like a Dutch wear system with the Tarp worms, some tarp hookworms, that's what they're called, which are cool quick release systems, stuff like that. So I would probably just permanently tie the corners like I've done here, and then maybe have some of my other lines available for something that I can get on and off quicker, because you can see there's just on this one side here all those tie out points. You can get pretty crazy. I'm not sure if you could pull off doors. I can't say yes or no to that yet. When I get this thing out in the field in some actual trip videos, we'll get a better look at how it runs. But I just was excited to get it out here and check it out today. Underneath you can see the Go Outfitters hammock to boot, sitting under there, sitting pretty. So got that there, and running over here. Obviously it's going to look about the same in the back. I did notice in the back here, the middle guy out point does not have one there. So you can tie it out a little tighter on the other side in that middle point. A little bit of a wider angle on it, looking pretty good. So yeah, like I said, I'm excited to take this out on a trip, which I will be. I do have a much lighter, ultralight Cuban hex tarp that I use as my primary tarp. But when I go out, take my wife out on the trail or friends that I drag out there to hammock camp, I don't have $1 million, so I take out a secondary tarp, most likely like this. I'm not just drenched in Cuban. So this is, like I said, I don't know the price yet. I will post that, but I'm imagining this will be a pretty good value-oriented tarp, and we'll see how it performs in the future. But there's a quick look at it. It's the Go Outfitters Apex Tarp. 1 million tie out points. Knock yourself out. So, till next time, I'm Syntax77, and you have fun out there.